Hi there everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make these little wristlets. This is crocheted and it's in cable. This is the ribbing here and this is the cable that we did over here. It's really not hard, it's pretty easy. We do it all in one and then we just sew it together over here. So it's pretty easy, it's not done in the round, it's just row by row. And yeah, so you make two of them, make one for the one hand and for the other hand, but it's exactly the same. You don't have two different, you don't have to make different thumb holes, it's exactly the same. You're making two of the identical wristlet. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that now. So let's get started. This is what our little wristlet looks like before you sew it together. We've got ribbing over here and our cable over here and then our ribbing over here, and then when you finish it off just make sure that you do leave a long piece here so we can sew it together. But that's what it looks like, and very easy. It really is not hard. I'll go over the ribbing with you fairly slowly so that you can see how to do it, and the ribbing and the cable. So this, it's not too hard. This is a little tricky, but I'll go slowly so you can see exactly which stitch I'm going into. But once you've got it, it's very simple. Now I'm using this Bernat Softee Baby and it's in the cream. They call it antique white. Now you're going to want to use the same crochet hook and the same thickness of the yarn. You can change your yarn, but to keep it more or less the same size, I'm using a size 4.25 millimeter crochet hook, and this is a size, and it's a G. 4.25, and this yarn is 100% acrylic, and it's a 3 light. So that's what's the important part, because you want it to be the same size as mine. If you go much larger, you're going to have a bigger little wristlet, so you got to be careful of that. But anyway, so yeah, that's what we're doing, and we're going to go ahead and start this. So yeah, let's go. To begin, you're going to do a slip knot, and we're going to chain 36 chain, 3-6. So you can go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and do mine, and then I will meet you once I've got my 36. So go ahead, do your 36, and I will meet you back here. Alright, so once you've got your 36 chain on, you're going to do one extra chain. So you're going to chain one, then you're going to skip 1, 2, and you're going to go into the third from your hook. Into the third chain from the hook. Now whether you go into this first stitch there or into the back loop, it doesn't really matter. Whichever you prefer. Okay, and that's now giving me 1, 2 double crochets. And you're just going to do double crochets in each of these chain. So then you're going to just do 1 double crochet in each one of these chain. Whoops. And once you've done that, I will meet you back here. So go ahead and do that. Do 1 double crochet in each of the chain, and you should have 36 double crochets. So once you've got that, I will meet you back here. Alright, so I have my 36 3-6 double crochets all chained over here. So as long as you have your 36, you'll be good. Now I'm going to chain 2. Now generally you can do chain 3 or 2 if you're using it for your double crochet. I'm just doing it with chain 2. Turn your work around. Now this is how you're going to do this ribbing over here. Oops, that's the wrong way. This looks just like your knitted rib really. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to do, they're all double crochets. You're going to find your next double crochet, not that one, your next one, and you're going to do 1 front post double crochet. So you're going to come, push this forward, okay, and do your double crochet just like that. Okay, now you're going to do a back one. When you do the back, you're coming in this way and you're pushing this post to the back. And you bring your yarn through and do it in the back. Okay, let me bring you in a little closer so you can see. Okay, so let me show you again. It's 1 forward, 1 back, 1 forward, 1 back. Okay, now it's a forward post, and this is my next one. This is the post of your double crochet. So I'm coming in front of my work, go into this first hole and there, so that this is pushing it forward. Okay, do your double crochet. Now it's going to be one back. For the back one, you find your next one there, you come in from the back, come into the next hole, and you're pushing it to the back like that, and then do your double crochet, and that's what gives you that rib look. Alright, so now it's a forward one, and you can see which one you've used. That one's being used. I pushed it to the back, so this is my next one over here, and you're working with the 2 holes in between. So I'm going to, for the front one, I'm going to come, for the front, come this way, push it forward. So the front, come into the front of your work. So an easier way to say, okay, front, put your hook in the front, come in here, and that's pushed to the front. Okay, for the back, put your hook to the back, and then you can see, okay, I've got to come in from the back, and then push it like that. Just an easy way. I always find little ways that I can remember things. Okay, front, always remember, put your hook in the front. Push this one forward, and do your double crochet. And then for the back, put your hook in the back first. Okay, now I know I've got to come in from this way. There's my next double crochet right over there. Come into the holes from the back and push it through. Sometimes it's easier to work if you just push that forward like that. And that's giving you your rib. One forward, one back, one forward, one back. Okay, the next one, and I can see which one is front. That's the front one, so I know my next one's got to be back. Go to the back and come in from the back. I just do these with you so you can get used to just seeing it being crocheted. Forward and then the back, come in from the back and go here. And you don't want to go over the same one. Just be sure that it is the very next one in the line. And you should have 36 double crochets. Now come in from the back and just hold it like that so you can work your stitch. Now it's a forward, it's a front, and then it's the back post again, coming from the back, between there and there. Okay, let me do these slowly. Forward, come in here, go through there, through there, through there, and then the back, coming from the back, come in here. The back one is right next to this one. These are your 2 holes that you're using. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish mine, and then I will meet you back here. Right, so we've come to the end here. I just want to show you, don't miss out on these 2 stitches here. Okay, that was a front there. Now the next one is a back. Okay, so you do your back. And there's one more here, which is going to be your front. This last one, don't forget, is your front. You just go in there and do your double crochet. Okay, and you should have 36 of these. This was my end one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 35, and then 36. So, and this is all done in one. You flip it over. Okay, and that was row 2. Now for row 3, it's going to be exactly the same thing. You're going to do your chain 2, turn around, and then this is going to be a lot easier. Now you go into your very first post, which is forward already, and you're going to do a forward. So you're doing a forward post on the forward and a back on the back. So this very first one over here, that's kind of sticking out, come behind it and do your forward post. Then back, go to the back, and you can see this one is already in the back. So you're just coming through there and through there. Okay, and do your back post. Okay, then your forward is the next, and then the next is a back. And you can see the back one is over there. So you come in there. The back one's a little bit tricky to get into because it's not as straightforward as your forward one. You see your forward one is right here, and you're still using the 2 holes next to it. And then your back one, you've still got your 2 holes here. There's the one and there's the other. They're your 2 holes that you're working in, there and there. Okay, and you're going to do this for 7 rows, because on our 8th row we're going to start with our cable. So yeah, I think that's pretty self-explanatory now. You do your forward post on your forward post, your double on your forward on your forward, your back on your back, and just be sure that you have your 36 stitches, and then you are good to go. So yeah, as I say, if you're unsure, just watch the video again to be sure that you've got it all correct. And that's what it looks like. So you can go ahead and do that. Do this for 7 rows. When I'm done with my 7, I'll meet you back again on the 8th row. And you just keep doing that over and over. Remember, your beginning, you go into the first one. You don't go into this. And then this one, you must go into this end one. You've got a back one and a forward one. So you must end with a back and then a forward. And then you do the same thing over and over. So I'm going to do mine and I'll meet you back now. This is my last row. This is number 7. But I just want you to be really careful. I've done my chain 2 and I'm turning around. Be careful as to which ones you're going with. Don't miss this one here. And the other thing that you'll find is that it's a lot smaller on your row. The little hole that you go to than the very first one. Just be careful that you're not going down too far down. It just seems a lot smaller. Anyway, so I've done my chain 2 and I've turned around. Now, be careful because you don't want to miss this one. That's my first one that I'm going to go through. Okay, so you're going to go through this one. That's your first one, and then your back post. That's your first forward, and then your back post is right here. If you can't see them, separate your work. Look, that's how easy it is to see it now. And then go in there. Just manipulate your work until you can see where the next one is. See, the forward ones are easy enough to see. It's your back ones that are a little harder. Now see, it's hard to see that one. You'd want to just go there, but it is sitting there. It's right over there. Okay, and then for your ending, you also want to be really careful. There's your forward right over here. See, it's easy. You want to go down there. That's not the one. This is the one here. There's your forward. But after this last visible forward one that you can see, you got 2 more after this. Okay, so don't get mixed up. There's the last visible one. This is a back one here. You've got one in the back over there. And then this is a forward one. Because you want to maintain your 36 stitches here. Okay, so when you see your last back one, with the visible one, you've got 2 more here. You've got another back one, which you can see right over there. And you've got this one, which is a forward one. So if you look at it from this side, you'll see there's that last one. This is the last one on this side. And you've got 2 more. Turn it around and you'll see there's that one. And then there's this one. Okay, so as long as you know you've got 2 more after this visible one. A back and a forward. And then you should be good. So I'm going to finish row 7 and I'll meet you back here at row. Alright, so now once you've done your 7 rows of rib, you're going to do row 8. And in this row we want to add on an extra 4 double crochets just to make this a little bit wider for our hand. So you can just spread it out evenly. I'm going to do 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So I have extra 4. So just be sure to add on your 4. So that's number 1 there. And I'm going into this very first stitch over here for number 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to add on 1, 4. This is number 5, and then I'm going to do another one in the same spot, 6. Okay, so I did 2 in the same spot. And you're just going to do that so that you have added 4 on. So you do this times 4, wherever you're going to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the next one, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm trying to spread it out evenly. That's 13. So I can do another one shortly. 14, 15, so I'll do another one now. 16, and then 17 will be in the same spot. And then 18, I've got 2 more to do. 19, 20, 21, 22, I'm going to do one now, right, 23, I'll do another set now, 24, 25, 26, I'll do another set here, 33, 34, 35, 36, and now we should end up with 40, 37, 39, and then 40. Alright, so you want to be sure to have 40 double crochets over here. Okay, so as long as you got your 40 here, we are good to start with our cable. So now we're going to go ahead and do our cable, and I'll show you how to do this cable. Now you're going to do the same thing with your chain 2, and then you're going to turn your work around. Now our cable consists of 4 stitches that we use, and then my beginning has got 3 double crochets, 4 for your cable, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, and then end has got 3 double crochets. And don't worry if you're not too sure what I'm saying there, I'll show you now. So your very first, you've got to do 3 double crochets. This is number 1, then I'm going into the next one over here. So I'm not going into the very first one, I'm skipping there and I'm going into this one. That's my second double crochet, 1, 2, and this is number 3. Okay, so you want your 3 double crochets. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do trebles. So you're going to do a treble, you're going to skip 1, 2 stitches, you're going to go into the 3rd stitch with a treble, but your front post. Okay, so you're going to skip 1, 2, go into your 3rd, which is your 3rd post with a treble. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and they're the 2 that I've skipped over there. These are the 2 that I've skipped. Okay, treble into the next one, which then pull your work apart, you can see it easier. There's my next one, and that's with the front. Okay, so now you've got 2 looking like that. Now you're going to do the same thing, but the 2 that you missed, you're going into these. So you're going to start off by going into this one first. So you're going to go backwards. Find that one, whoops. Find that one. You might want to hold it. So stretch it apart, and that's the one I need. So hold it, and then go with the front post. This row is all front posts. The other row is back posts, because the cable consists of 2 rows. And your first row is just front, the second row is back posts. Okay, now you're going to go into the one that you had skipped over there. So the same thing. Go into there, do your treble. Okay, and now we have 2 doubles in between. We have 3 at the beginnings and then 2 in between our cables. Alright, so now you can see in the back which ones you've used. I've used this one. So I've used that. Okay, so that's where it ends. These are my next stitches. So I need to go into this first one with a double crochet, 1 double, and a double in the next. Okay, so those are the 2 doubles that are in between. Okay, now we're going to do our next set of cables. So wrap your yarn around twice, skip 2. So that one was used. So skip 1, 2, and then go into your 3rd one. Okay, and your cables are all about your front and back posts. Okay, yarn over twice, go into the next one with the front post. Go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. Yarn over twice, and now you come into the 2 that you had missed. Alright, so we just did the back 2, and now you're going to find your 2 double crochets. You can see this one was used, and if you need to look on the back, it makes it a little easier. Now the next one then will be this one. So I do 1 double in there and a double in the next one. Okay, and then you're going to do your trebles. You're going to skip 1, 2, go into this one. That's 1, and then the next one. So it's 2 forward, and then you go back to the 2 that you had skipped and you do those. So there's the 2, that's the first one out of the 2 that I need to do. And I go through 2, go through 2. It's a little tricky. and go through 2, and then I need to do this one over here, right over there. Okay, and then we've got our plain 2 double crochets again. That's the next one there, 1, and the next one here, 2, and then we do our cable again. Okay, and now you're going to skip 1, 2, go into the third one. You're ending up with 6 of these cables. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got another one. So as long as you do end up with 6 of them, you're going to be in good shape. Okay, and then 2 in the back. It's a front post, but it's just these back ones I'm saying. Front post in there. Okay, and then you've got your 2, 1, 2, and I should have 1 left. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is number 6 now. Skip 2, go into the third. That's 1, 2, and just be careful where you've increased that you don't miss out on that stitch, because sometimes it's a little tricky to see where it is. So just be sure that this is correct, because otherwise it's not going to work out the same as mine. Okay, now we have, because it's our ending, we have 3 double crochets to end with. The beginning and end have 3, and then in between have 2 double crochets. Okay, and now that's what you should be looking like. So you should have 6 of these, 3 here, 1, that's 2 there, 2 with 2, 3 with 2, 4 with 2, 5 with 2, and 6, and 3 on the end. So that's your first row of your cable. Now the second row of the cable, we're working in the back post. So you're going to chain 2 and turn your work around. Now do the same thing here with your double crochets, and I'm going into the very first one for all of them. I'm going to that very first one. It's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so when you start with your next round, you chain your 2 and then you turn around, and you're going to have to come into the first 3 double crochets. That's considered your first one, so that's 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't really matter if you go into the very first one or if you go into this one. Okay. There. Now, this is where you're going to be going into the back posts of these. So you're going to wrap your yarn around twice. Now you're going to first go into this one. You're first going in, let me see if I can turn around. You're going to go into that one first, then that one, then this one, and then that one. And you're doing it in the back post. So this is number 1 here, then number 2, number 3, and number 4. And you're also using trebles, and as I say, with the back post. So yarn around twice. Go into this first one. Now remember, the back post hook goes to the back. And then you go into this very first one here. It's a little tricky when you haven't done this before, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. Around twice. Now you go into this next one here. You can turn your work so you're kind of looking to the back. Okay, so now we've got those 2 done. Now we've got to come to this one, and it's also in the back. So you've got to move your work a bit, come in here, so that you can get to this one here. Okay, go through there. And then we have this last one, which is the easier one, because it's sitting right there. Okay, and this is the back of our work, so that's what it looks like on the front. And then same thing here, you go into these 2, 1 and 2. Okay, and now we've got to do our back posts again. Okay, so remember, you've got these 2 in the back, so you're doing that one first and then that one. So do that. Find your back one. That's the first one. Go through that one. 1, 2, 3. And the next back one over there. Go through there, go through there, go through there, and then we've got these 2 over here. So you come in there, make sure you can get through to that one, and then this one. And this might look a little hard if you're just looking at it. When you actually start crocheting, it's better. So there's my first one in the back. Go through 2, go through 2, go through 2, and then there's the next one. And as I say, you can hold your work like this and you can see it a little easier. And then these two here, and you're coming in from the back. And then this one, coming from the back. As I say, these are all the back posts. The second row is back posts, first row is front posts. And that's what gives you that cabled look. Okay, and it consists of 4 stitches, and then you have these 2 which are plain. Okay, so let me do it with you slowly. There's the back. You can bring it forward so you can see it better. Go through there, go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. There's the second one, through the back of it, 2 through 2. Then we've got these 2, but you're still going through the back. Just separate it so you can get it. There's my first one. Whoops, and then my next one. Okay, and then I've got 2, and I've got 2 more to go. I'll just do them with you so that you can see. Okay, these 2, the back one, just doing your trebles. Okay, and then these 2, they're right over there. That's the first one, come in there from the back. Right, and then we are heading to our last one to do our 2 doubles. 1, 2, and then your last one. Going to the first one's back, over there, second one, go through 2, 2, 2, and then this one over here, and the last one, right over there. And then you got 3 just plain double crochets to end with. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go in here. 1, 2, and number 3. Right in the end. Okay, and then you do your chain 2 again. And that's your very first cable that you have made. And it looks like that. Now you're going to do exactly the same thing as you've been doing. So now you do exactly the same thing. You got your chain 2 and you're going to do your first. Alright, so when you start with your next round, you chain your 2 and then you turn around and you're going to have to come into the first 3 double crochets. That's considered your first one. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now you're going to go into your forwards. These are all forwards again, and now it looks slightly different because you've got them set out like this for you. Same thing, skip these 2, go into this one. It's actually easier now. That's 1, go into the next one, 2. Now you've got to go into those that were left behind, these 2. Okay, so go into this one first. You're doing exactly the same thing, it just looks slightly different because you had already made that row. And remember, these are all forward ones again. There's my next one. First row all forwards, second row all back. Okay, and now you've got to go into your next 2. Just separate your work. There's the first one, and there's the second one. Okay. And then you do this again. And these are all trebles that we're working with here, except for those in between, they're doubles. That's 1. There's the next one. 2. And then these 2 that we had left behind, and they're right over here. Don't go into your doubles. They're right over there. Go into that first one. And this is all that you're going to be doing now. Into that first back one, and this is all that we're doing. It's very simple now. Once you've got the hang of this, you can whiz through these quickly. These can be made in a day easily. Okay, and then you've got your 2. Alright, so I think that you're good to go. If you need to rewind and watch the video again, go ahead and do that. And this is what it's starting to do now. They're crossing over each other. So what you need to know is you need to know that you've got 3 doubles in the beginning. Your cable consists of 4 stitches, and then you've got 2 in between, 4 stitches. Your forward 2, your first row is just forward posts, forward treble posts, and the second row is back treble posts. And yeah, they're not double posts, these are just double, these are all treble posts that you're doing. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to do it so that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on your 5th one you're going to stop doing it. So be sure that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, and then do your number 5, and then I'll show you what to do. So you can go ahead and do these 4, and I can meet you back here. So do that, and then I'll meet you back here and show you what else. Alright, so I have done 5 sets of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, If you really need to count, you can count like this. You can see that's 1. Count your double crochets. That's 1 row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 rows from here. And I'm just going to finish this and then show you. These are just our last 3, which we just doing last 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to do the same thing, chain 2 and turn around. 1, 2, turn your work around, and now we're just going to do our double crochets, front and back loop, our ribbing. We're just going to do a short set of ribbings over here. So now all that you do is you got your chain 2, and then you're going to go 1 forward. So get into this very next one here, 1 forward and then 1 back. And this is the same thing as what we did on our border. 1 forward and 1 back. And you can do as many rows as you want to. I don't know how high up you want yours to be. You know, how past your thumb, or how big you want yours lengthwise. So I did, let me see, I did 3 rows, 3 or 4 rows. So, you know, it's up to you as to how many you want to do. But you're just going to do ribbing like you did at the bottom. 1 forward post, 1 back post. 1 forward and 1 back. And that's what you're going to do here, exactly like you did at the bottom. And you're just going into these ones over here. So 1 forward, just go into each stitch, 1 forward and 1 back. And yeah, you know, that's really all that it is to it. If you just want 1, you can do just 1 row. If you want 2, you can do just 2. If you want 3, you know, it's up to you as to how many rows you want. You can just try it on and see for yourself, you know, as to how, when you try it on, you can see how high up you want yours to be. Because that's where my thumb will be. And this gets closed, and your thumb would come out. So this one so far would be round about there, you know, but I think I'm going to have mine a little bit higher. So yeah, you know, do as many rows as you want to there, and then you can be finished. Once you're finished, when you finish here, leave a long thread, because we're going to sew ours together, and you can just use that thread to sew it together. So yeah, go ahead with that. Do, as I say, I've got 3 rows. I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish mine, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll sew ours together. Alright, so now once you have completed your little wrist warmer, you need to be aware of which we're going to be putting our wrist warmer together. We're going to sew it together. Now, it's up to you as to where you want your thumb hole to be. You're going to have to just keep trying it on. Because I don't know, you know, everyone's hand is different. This works for me. This way works for me. I just went up a little bit over there, and then the rest of it was here. You know, it's not, just follow with your hand as to how much you need. My first hole, I went down 1 3/4, and then I started leaving a gap. And then the gap is about 1.5 inches, and then the rest of this is 4 inches. So my whole one altogether is just on 7 inches. So that's how I did mine. Now just be sure to do the same thing to your other one, because you want them to be even. And all you do is sew it. You know, there's nothing really to it. So I'm just going to be aware of sewing mine the same as that one. And yeah, you just really sew it. You know, it depends on how you sew, but just take from the one side and bring in to the other side. Make sure that you have your sides equal, so this ends up equally over there. But this is really all that we're going to be doing. And as I say, that was what, 1 3/4. So when I get this, and you might find your other hand is different, so you could do it individually. You know, just do this and then try it on. For example, do this and see, is that where you want yours to sit? You know, you want it a little tighter. And that's really all that you do. And then you just sew it all the way down, and then you'll... I brought my yarn through, so let me see if this is not quite... Let me just do this. Over here, and over here. Okay, now I think I've gone too far down. That's over there and there, yeah. You know, give or take 1 or 2 stitches. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down. I just keep my yarn there, and then I just come down like this. I just bring this down and make sure that that is as far down as I'm needing it to be. And I said that was about 1.5. So I can go down just a little bit more, just to about here. And it's not an exact science, it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to sew it on to this one. And just be sure that these are always lining up. As long as that lines up, you're going to be okay. Okay. And then you sew all the way down. And that's your wrist warmer completed. So I'm going to go ahead, sew all the way down, sew my threads in, and there you have your wrist warmer. So, and it fits either hand. You don't have to do anything differently. It just depends on which way you put it on. And that's it. Now if you want to do something fancier, you can, but for the most part it looks pretty good to me. So there you have your wrist warmer. And thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope that you come right. If you need to ask me any questions, feel free to ask me, and I hope to see you in my next lesson. Thanks guys, bye.